Greetings, everyone. This is Payman Lorenzo, your host of the Leader Podcast. Today, it's part three of my beautiful conversation with my new great friend from the UK, Debra Blackman. Wow, we just spent the last 25 minutes talking beautifully about what's going on in the world and all that, and we could have gone for another hour or so. We may bring that topic back for another episode, but today I have her back here for part three. Part one was talking about a background, a story, and part two we dived even deeper. Now today we're going to talk about their impact. But before all of that, Debra, welcome back to my show, my friend.
Hey, Payman, thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
Well, welcome, players of mine. So for people who don't know you, who missed the last two episodes, give us a very brief, high-level overview. Who's Debra as a person, as a human being, as a woman? And then we'll dive
Thank
into your
you.
business right after that.
Okay, yes, thank you. So I grew up to mentally ill parents, and I know that now, didn't realize that at the time because one's version of reality is the only thing that you see as a child. You've got nothing to compare it with. So I thought this dysfunctional, abusive, and manipulative household was normal. That was my reality. And we were just discussing about breaking free. I broke free of it, but I couldn't break free of the trauma bonds that held me thinking that it was my fault. And I took that for the large part of my life. I'm in my late 50s now, and it was only a couple of years ago that I actually had some counseling. And now, as we know, I'm transformed in that sense, which is amazing. But I was a high achiever. I carved out a career in the City of London to do with international finance. I was in international private banking with a big bank over here. And then I was headhunted into international operational management consulting. And it took every ounce of my energy to try and survive the experience because I was fighting against the demons that were within me to try and have some kind of normal life. That wasn't necessarily the case, but it was totally exhausting. And I've always been independent, and it was due to the pandemic that I started up my own business at the end of that pandemic. And I've been in business for a little while, but the format of it is now is that we are one business that actually is going to help thousands of small businesses and business owners to basically make the most of their time, de-stress, decompress, etc., through virtual assistant services. And I've done it completely differently to most people. There's no hierarchy. We are all equal. We all have a voice. We're all celebrating for the different people that we are. And so now what I'm doing after counseling, I've realized my authentic self. I'm always delving into that, and I'm trying not to get stuck in my mind. The mind that I have is masking perhaps the essence of me the whole time. So I've got to be careful now. But the great thing is I know my trajectory, I know my purpose, and that is to leave my legacy of the business, of everything that I amass in my life, to charity so that it can help less fortunate the people than me. And I'd like to go in perpetuity with that so that as the business unfolds and the profits of it exceed after I've gone, then I'd like those profits to go to charity as well. Not about ego for me. It's just purely that I know that that is the purpose that I want to give. And the other side of things as well is as I do that is to speak about my journey, to talk about what's happening in my world so that ultimately people perhaps who know of somebody who perhaps is going through similar abuse, trauma, could be addiction, could be that they're suffering from depression, or the people themselves, that actually, you know what, there is hope. You don't have to be defined by your past. You can break free of it. You can have support, and you can be your own best support mechanism as well. So if anything resonates with what I say, and I'm not an expert, I'm not clinically or medically trained, but I'm speaking from somebody who has gone through this and I'm coming out the other side. If I can help one person to perhaps change a mindset or give some thoughts that there is something that is positive after this, then I've done my job.
Beautiful. absolutely love what you said. Especially one thing that really speaks directly to my soul is that you're running businesses and all profits go back to charity, go back to the people. That's one of my ultimate goals is to build to go. My background is e-commerce. I want to go to spend a year in a different country each year, build a business over there, uh, teach the locals, say underprivileged locals, life skills, and then help them run the business and all the profits go back to them. I don't take a penny just for them to give back because I've been blessed with life, with thanks. That's what I'm working on. And when I heard you say that, I said, wow, I have actually someone that I know personally now to my podcast that I actually pinpoint say she's doing what I'm striving to do. So you just like inspired me. I'm getting goosebumps right here. So when the time comes, I will hit you up and say, Deborah, let's get on a call. I want to talk to you. How do I make this happen now? So, and
Oh,
eventually even fly you over to come and inspire me and inspire all of us. And whether it's in London or wherever, listen, this is what I love about this podcast, talking to people that are inspiring, that have goosebump inducing story, that are empowering just like you. So I thank the universe to bless me with all these incredible people, incredible stories, and for people like you to come into my life. So thank you, Deborah. Thank you for being we are. Keep shining your light, keep blessing the world. You're a gift, and keep blessing the world with your gifts, my dear friend. That comes straight. That doesn't come from here, that comes from here straight. So because you just spoke directly to my soul right now.
oh, well, I can feel that, and thank you so much. And this is the great thing with energy. It transcends the fact that we're not together. We're here on a
Mm,
podcast, and I'm in the UK, and I believe you may be in Vietnam. Um, but that energy comes through, and it
mm-hmm.
comes through in a heartbeat. There's no, time is an amazing thing, isn't it? It's not linear. And I
Yeah.
just felt what you felt all the way back again. So thank you.
Yeah. Very welcome.
Yeah,
Thank you.
brilliant.
Yes, right now
Thank
I'm in
you.
Vietnam. Next week I'll be in Malaysia, and after that, as we say in French, wherever the wind of adventure takes me. So let's see.
Wonderful.
Awesome. So you started talking a little bit about your VA business. Before we even dive into that, tell us, how did you decide to get into that business? What's the genesis of you going to that business?
Right. Well, the interesting thing is, I had failed so many times, and failure, I've now realized, is just that learning process.
Mm,
You never forget what you've learned before the failure. So you can bring that into the next thing that you do. And because I wasn't fulfilling my reason why, my purpose, nothing kind of lasted. Nothing was permanent in the sense of I knew where the direction was going. So whenever times got tough, I would back off thinking, no, this isn't for me. This has got too tough now. If it were meant to be, it wouldn't be this difficult.
mm,
And now I've actually realized that the universe has an amazing way of gently knocking you. And if you get the lesson, that's great. But if you don't, it's a little bit harder and a little bit harder each time until it literally hits you with a brick bat. You're on the floor, you're at rock bottom, and you think, oh my goodness, now I get it. Now I've got to build something. So what took me was the fact that during the pandemic, I lost the previous clients that I had in a consultancy business because everybody needed to travel. So there was no way that people during the pandemic could travel. And I'd also built a cohort of clients. I was helping people with business development and also optimizing their systems and processes within their offices. So I had a small clutch of clients that were paying exceedingly good money for those services that I would provide, largely within business development, if I'm totally honest. So because they couldn't travel, that was it. And I'd also built up a cohort of clients in Ukraine.
mm,
So yeah. So when my clients who were all of an age profile where they felt that they would like to retire when COVID hit from the non-Ukraine people, um, they were all very happy. They'd sold London properties. They were going to made a lot of money. They were going to downsize, live the best dream, which was wonderful. But that left me without a client bank. And as my client bank had been built largely by word of mouth and referral, I wasn't used to marketing my product. So when they went, I thought, right, still got savings in the bank because Ukraine will come back. And then after lockdown, it was about 2 weeks after everybody was really going for it again, and we were all okay. Putin invaded Ukraine. And so that put pay to that. So my safety net had gone. And I was very worried, very anxious, didn't know what I was going to do, what I was going to bring to the table as far as money. I just moved to an area of the UK where I didn't know anybody. It was to refurbish a property. So I'm stuck with all of that, outgoings, etc. And then I stopped everything. And it was at that point that I pretty much had the breakdown, the physical, mental breakdown, because I put it off having a breakdown. I know this sounds odd, but I kind of put this off because I knew that if I had had a breakdown and allowed myself to break down, which actually there's quite some positive things in that breaking down, I wouldn't be able to get an income. I wouldn't be able to put a roof over my head. My life would just implode. So when I was speaking to the counselor and breaking things down, so when we look at this word, as my whole world had been built on very, very shaky foundations, very shaky structure because of the abuse, etc. She said, what do you want to do? What do you want to do from the counseling? And I said, to find me, who I am, my authentic self, because I needed to build structure in my life, to build this foundation. So how I moved into the business was I took a good hard look and said, what am I good at? What do I enjoy doing? And I was good at relationship development from a business development perspective. And I'm also good at organizing people's time, getting processes right in the office, etc. So I thought, right, these are the two core skills that I can bring to the party. And with my authentic self, I trusted in what would happen rather than trying to control and create, which I'd always done before. I just let things happen because I had no other way of doing it. So I went to a few networking events. I'd asked somebody where I go to find business clients because I didn't even know that. Went to a couple of networking events, never networked before, not naturally at ease with speaking to strangers, but I had to force myself, really force myself. So I did it. And there's nothing like a burning purpose to get you going out of your comfort zone. So after a while, I started to get some clients to actually help with the business development in their offices. And then I thought, right, I'm now getting stuck doing what I did before, is swapping my time for money. So as luck would have it, but this is the universe opening up, I met a gentleman who had a business support service in Lahore in Pakistan, and he lives quite close to me in another neighboring city. So what I did then was I leapt out of my comfort zone again, and I said, can I get people through you so that they can help the clients that I can get in? And he said, yes. So what we've done is we've set up this business, the service that I get my people that work through his business center, all cyber secure, data secure, etc. Fantastic. And then we provide the business development services through non-automated LinkedIn lead generation and the virtual assistant services of all matters admin, so that busy business owners can buy back their time and also grow their business. So that evolved, and it is still evolving. And if I'd have tried to plan that, if I'd have tried to get the things that have subsequently happened to me, that I've now spotted the serendipity of opportunity, and this is what universe comes along and does, which I've realized because I'm living proof of it, I could not have planned this because I wouldn't have known who I needed to speak with. So these people have come in and entered my life for the reason of helping me grow so that I can then help busy business owners to flourish and their ecosystems to flourish. And because it's part of the purpose of the road of helping other people to flourish, because the other side that I'm doing is talking to you about the more of how you get over abuse, how you can handle anxiety, how you can handle trauma, I'm helping busy business owners to thrive in whatever capacity that would be. So it's in alignment with my purpose. And so with that in mind, keeping that open mind, keeping myself open to spot the opportunities that come my way and asking questions to prompt the next stage of that opportunity, I'm working from my intuition and my gut as opposed from my mind. I'm working from the neck down as opposed to the neck up. And it has completely changed the way in which I do business. And the success of the business is transformative in the sense that we are successful without my mindset trying to force things into certain channels. It's actually much more organic than that. And it's experiencing it as a business owner, growing a business in this way is absolutely amazing, because the energy that I have is 10x, 20x than what I'd usually have, because there's not the effort involved in making things happen. They happen. And I trust that the people that come in to help me make them happen, because everybody's on the same energy, the good energy, I'm meeting people that are amazing. I mean, truly like earth angels, I'm calling them. And that's what I call yourself, Payman, is an earth angel who
Thank
have
you.
come into my life. Oh, how on earth would I ever have met a globetrotter like yourself? And here I am based in the northwest of UK, unless universe has come together to make that happen. I
Sure.
could not have planned that. It just wouldn't be in my sphere of influence.
Absolutely. Is it?
So it's the trusting and the knowing that the energy within me, the purpose, the soul that I have, the trying not to make things happen is actually letting go and letting the universe or the higher power, however you like to think about it, bring things together in a natural formation. And that to me is amazing. So that's how I set the business up. And then the whole thing with the business is to give, add value, help other people contribute. And yes, we know that we have to make money to grow. Money is an energy. Money is just an energy. We
Sure.
just need that energy to grow. We need to have clients come in who want our service. But I get the clients through our LinkedIn lead generation where there isn't a sales message in sight. And that's why our clients are successful when they use that method, because we are contributing within our message before we ask to receive. And most people at the end of our conversation say, well, how can I help you? And that's where the magic happens, because I was always manipulating in a good try, I thought in a good way, for people to say, yes, I want your service. But now people are actually asking for the service. And I even say, I didn't get on the call to push our business. And they went, no, I know, but I still want what you've got. So they're actually pleading with me to do business with me, which is very, very different.
So speaking of that, how did you find the right people? How did you vet them? I guess you mentioned you have a contact on the ground that helps you with all of that. Tell us about the process, how you build the foundation of this business. First with finding the
Yeah,
right people and then vetting them and all that, training them.
yes. So what happens is the gentleman that is the director of the business center here gives a précis of the type of person that I'm looking for. Now, I keep it very broad because I base my hires on attitudinal hiring. Now, we're not heart surgeons. You know, the work in which we do can be taught while doing a job with our clients very secure in the knowledge that things are going to be done well. So I ask for them to see who they have either in their office already, who might have some spare capacity, or from outside, who is looking to grow and flourish within a business. And so they would usually give me, if I was looking for one position, they would usually give me 3 or 4 people that I can then interview. And so I've stripped down everything of how I used to interview in a corporate environment. Now, because I never normally meet these people, it's all done by Google Meet, Zoom, or Teams. I look for behaviors, I look for attitude, I look for the quality in somebody that shows me that they are willing to give, that they don't have a super ego in the sense of me, I. I always give I give a multiple choice question, which is if you could only help one person in a particular transaction, and that would be yourself, client, or the business, which one would you choose to benefit? Yourself, the client, or the business? And they say whichever they feel that they really need to benefit. And I ask them why. Because what I'm looking at is a way in which they are giving of themselves. It's usually the people that say, well, in the sense of the client, I'd like to make sure that the client is always taken care of, that we go the extra mile, that we do this for the client. It could be themselves in the sense that if I develop and grow myself, I know I can be better for other people. It could be the business in the sense that if the business were here flourishing, it could help more people. But it's how they work around the language of where they see their value. What would they look out for first? Where would be their primary focus? And in a simple form, the ones that usually choose the client come around and talk about themselves in a selfless way, and that they will be willing to give of themselves, to listen, to do what is necessary. And so at that level, I know the people that would be good for the role. And then training is, I then have people on a journey for a couple of weeks where they are learning from their team members and they're looking at the processes involved. And then quite quickly, we as a team start to give them responsibility. Because the whole idea of our business in the nicest possible way is that we only ever grow when we are expanding our comfort zone. So we give, not just me, because I don't meet these people. I have to make sure that my team are guiding, that we do it holistically, that we're doing little tests, that we're doing little, not even so that the person would know, but we're putting them in situations where perhaps they haven't got much time, or they have to have a quality of work with detail, or they have to provide something where they've researched nuances of what we do and how we do it for a client. And what I'm looking back is not the perfect art, the perfect finished product, because nothing will ever be perfect. But what I'm looking for is the person's ability to push themselves and drive themselves into an area which they may be unfamiliar with, that causes them a little bit of discomfort, but that they're willing to take that discomfort on to grow, and that they're willing to take that comfort on to make more for the client, to make more for themselves, to make more for the business. And once I see that, then the challenges just start to grow a little, and they develop in their complexity. They get given clients quite quickly so that they can start to engage with them and contribute and start to help them, all very secure so that we know that they're not going to make fundamental mistakes, but that they get used to interacting with clients really, really quickly. And so what I find is that within a very short period of time, those people have grown from, these are usually young people just by definition of what we do and who we attract, is that they've grown from a little closed entity into something that's now sprouting leaves and growing and experiencing and photosynthesizing and giving and bearing fruit. And then the root systems get deeper and they're being able to contribute to the team. I will often have WhatsApp messages from the team. There's a lovely lady called Ikra who recently joined us. And now she's saying she's coming up with ideas. She's coming up with ways in which she can feels that she can help our clients more, help the business more. How can we add value? And literally, she's been with us a month, and yet she's flourishing, thriving. And they, as a collective team, have to sort problems out, have to deal with things that could have implication for the future, have to look at processes, how we can improve as a team. And when somebody succeeds in a great way, I always praise that person, but I always bring the collective team in to say, without the benefit of that collective team and the way in which that team works, that person couldn't have necessarily come up with that idea or been able to do X, Y, Z because they've got the support of the team.
Beautiful. Speaking of that, what services do you offer to your agency, to your business?
Yeah, we do three things, which is actually split into two areas. So we do buying back your time through all of the administration processes and activities that we do. And that can be from managing diaries to doing data entry to looking at people's emails and sorting them out and making that inbox nice and clear. Literally anything, transcription, all that sort of stuff. And then the other side of what we do is the business development, so helping busy business owners grow their businesses. And we do that by our non-automated LinkedIn lead generation service, which is very, very much our own intellectual property of what we do, how we do it, etc. It's very, very different, and it works incredibly well. And on the strength of that, also, we do social media content creation and management as well. And that's around LinkedIn, Facebook, etc. So we do that. And my team create posts. They come up with content. We do use an AI tool, but it's then taken through a sense check. We make sure that the framework is correct. We put it through a non-plagiarizing tool as well, so that things are really well read. They read really well. They are very attractive. We've actually, off of the content we provide, people have got clients through it, which is fantastic. So it really, really works. And each of our clients is treated with utmost respect. They are treated proactively. They have a dedicated virtual assistant. They're basically nurtured along our journey as well. They're listened to. We actively manage the things that we need to do for them. And there's great communication, always great communication, because of course we are offshore, and depending on where our client is in the world, there can be thousands of miles of distance. So the communication is really, really key. But the great thing is our clients refer other people to us because they're very happy with our service. And it's just a joy to be able to think that when people thrive, people are doing well, that actually because of our service, that's actually helped them to be better. We can even work down for as little as half an hour a day. And one of the things which I stressed is that we do not work on a contract. We bill up front because the money isn't huge. We bill up front. We bill on a 4-weekly cycle. And what I wanted was something that I would be happy to do myself through somebody else. So in that first 4 weeks with us, that's where people don't know us. My guarantee is on the last day of that 4-week period, if somebody said they weren't happy, I would return that money in full. It's absolutely in full. And then for the next 4 weeks, before the next 4 weeks starts, the dedicated assistant will ask, are you happy for us to continue? Are you happy with the work? Would you be able to say, would you confirm for us to invoice you for the next 4-week period? And that's when we go again. And even in that 4-week period, if somebody wasn't very well, they went on holiday, something was happening with their children, they can pause for up to 2 weeks as well in that 4-week period. So they haven't got to think that they're tied to anything. Because a lot of things with small businesses that you've got a cash flow issue, or you've got a timing issue, or you want to go away on holiday. So why not have a service that allows for that flexibility?
Beautiful. Love that. Love that. Do you specialize in a specific industry or niche, or you help business in general?
Business in general, but if it were on the admin side, we can help anybody with anything. That's no problem. If it were to be on the LinkedIn lead generation, it would be, well, where do the clients hang out? Are they hanging out on LinkedIn? Are they people that would be business to business owners? Saying that, I was talking about business owners. We have a wonderful lady who's the regional sales and director for UK and Europe for a big company. We help her with fractionalized admin on a 2 hours a day. But ultimately, it can be any sector, any industry, as long as the people on business development are business to business, usually, then that's going to be great. And as I say, the admin, it really doesn't matter. It can be absolutely across the board.
Love that. Now, are your clients mostly in the UK or you have clients all over the world?
Well, we have the capacity to have clients internationally all over the world, and we have had clients in the States. I've had clients in Europe, and of course, I've had clients in Ukraine. But at the end of the day, because I'm based in the UK, and a lot of my business development work for our own business is UK based, then predominantly, yeah, we are a UK business, but it doesn't matter because we're virtual. We can have clients anywhere in the world.
I want to pick up your brain after that offline, because one of the reasons I moved to Asia was I want to build my own team so I can outsource some of my, the editing, the design, the graphic design, all that. So I have 3 countries in mind right now. I have the Philippines, which is the first country that comes to mind. I've been extremely positively impressed by Malaysia. And number 3, even here in Vietnam. So I want to talk to you after about that to see.
Yeah, pleasure.
Because I'm excited about this, and if in the past I can help train and provide livelihood to other people, I'd be honored to do so as well. I'm a fair guy. I'm not going to be the kind of guy that's going to squeeze him to the last time. No, I'm going to pay him even more than the standard they're getting paid for, so that they can stay loyal to me, so I can build with them and I can help them grow along with me. I have a vision to build them in the long term. So
Yes.
I want to treat them really well. I don't want to, I will pay them even more than what they could get elsewhere, so they can stay loyal to me, and then together we can grow.
Okay, so payment, I know this is a podcast, but it could be very relevant here.
Mm,
Now, my people, the pay is good, so that's a given. The one thing that they keep coming back for isn't the money. It's how they grow as people, how
mm,
they know that they're making a difference within the team, how they get the sense of satisfaction, how they look and see in 3 months where they were and where they are now, and the growth that they are encompassing as people being with us, and that they are part of the journey to help busy business people to thrive, but also to fulfill their own purpose. So
mm,
people will remain loyal, not irrespective of the money, because everybody's got to have a good standard of living, etc., to take care of themselves and their families, and
sure.
also their ecosystems. But ultimately, the money isn't everything. As
Mm,
small business owners, we probably know more than anything that the money isn't everything. The money is the nice add-on at the end of it, but it's the development, it's the helping people, it's the joy of freedom of thought, it's the energy that we get knowing that we're doing something that could create a legacy. We're doing something that fulfills our passion. So when we're thinking about that as somebody who would be supporting us in that activity, they're not going to be different in their mindset as to really what motivates them. In the sense of, if you're picking good people that want to contribute and add value rather than a transactional, here you go, here's your time and here's your money. If you want to have a team of people, and this can be scaled to thousands,
mm,
if you have the culture within the team, within your business, that allows each and every person within it to flourish in the way that they want to flourish and grow, they will look elsewhere outside and go, you know what? I'm going to stay with payment, or I'm going to stay with Debra, because ultimately I can't get that in the abundance that I'm getting it here.
Yeah.
That's why people stay. It's so that they can fulfill that purpose. You see, in the UK, we used to have, people stay in the same roles for 20, 30 years.
All the careers, yeah.
Yeah, because the companies looked after them. They were well respected for what they did. They were thought of. They were asked for their thoughts. They knew that what they were doing mattered. And this is the thing, doing something that matters, that has a purpose. There's so many things. I keep on reading about side hustles and etc. and make your side hustle. I'm getting $5,000-$10,000 a month from my side hustle.
Working 10 minutes a day without lifting a finger. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But ultimately, that side hustle could be the thing that really embodies somebody's desire, the creativity, what they really want to do, etc. But if I can help people within the business grow, develop, and be the thing that is not their side hustle, but they think of energizing themselves as if, well, now I get to do what I really want to do. And essentially it's our business. You've noticed it's not my business, it's our business. If people can come in with that mindset and going, I'm so excited because I'm part of something that matters. I'm part of something that I'm growing in, that I'm developing in, that I know that is following my purpose to do what I want to ultimately do through this vehicle, then that's when the team are really loyal. And I'm not saying this as something which I applaud. I don't make anything of it. But my people always seem to be coming up with ideas over the weekend that they put on the WhatsApp group. They nudge me to say, Debra, you haven't done X, Y, and Z, you need to do it before Monday, which is great because, everybody needs a bit of a nice little gentle nudge sometimes. But they are that dedicated to what their purpose in the business, that's when they feel that they want to contribute, is even out of hours, which I think is a measure, not that as I celebrate it, because people don't have to work 24/7 on my business, that's not it. It's the fact that they feel a part of something that is bigger than the business. It's part of themselves. And it's having that personal branding. It's having those personal values for each person as they're within the business. Is what are my brand? What are my values that I'm bringing to this? How am I going to succeed, achieve, thrive, fulfill my destiny, etc.? And it can be done through a vehicle like this because everybody's celebrated, everybody matters, everybody's voice is heard. And it doesn't mean that it's all warm and fluffy. Sometimes we do have to seriously look and say, well, was that the best it could be? How can we improve? How can we make this system or process better? And why do we want to make this system and process better? What value, what reason does it have behind it? Is it just because we're saying it should be and there's no real reason behind it? Or are there solid reasons why this should actually be improved? Should we drop things that we're doing because they don't have any reason or meaning? Because we don't always have to do what was already done. We can question, is this the right thing to do for where we want to be? So my people are always engaged in that thought process. And so I'm a hands-off manager in the sense that or leader, I'm in a sense where I let people discover in a safe environment so that nobody suffers, discover what works, what doesn't work, how can it be improved upon, what's the consensus. Somebody says, I want to do this project, I want to do it on my own because I want to really get depth of self-understanding, etc. Say, right, off you go do it. And it's great. So yeah, money absolutely has to be good level so that people can thrive and their ecosystems can thrive, but by no means is it the reason why people will stay for long term.
Absolutely. Speaking of that, what is your irresistible offer? What sets your company apart from all the other VA services available out there?
Love.
Mm,
We give love. You become part, our business is part of a community. We love our clients. We send out, I don't know if you know about the Valentine's thing. I don't know if it's global or not, but yeah,
yeah.
Valentine's.
Yes.
We send every single one of our clients, current and past clients, a little Valentine's note saying how much we love them,
Mm,
how much we are privileged to have our clients in our lives. And it was met incredibly positively. We are we genuinely love our clients. We genuinely love our clients. And with that love, I love the team. The team loves me. Everybody loves. And there are different, obviously, ways in which to love. But it is a sense of empowerment. It is a sense of being one. It is that when somebody comes to our business, and this is why people refer others to us, they know that whomever they bring is going to be loved.
mm.
And that's it. That's the differentiator. That is that we love. And to love, we need to do our best. We need to go above and beyond. We need to manifest that love in terms of results, in terms of what we do in the time frame to help people develop their time frames better, do what they need to do better, help them to thrive. So the manifestation of our love is to get way more results in
Mm,
all sorts of different ways for our clients than could be done in a more traditional corporate kind of environment.
love that. Speaking of that, that's a perfect segue. Share with us an example of the most remarkable transformation you've had with one of your clients so far as a result of working with you.
Yes, so everybody undergoes a transformation, which is, you think, really? Yes, they do. We have clients coming through because we set up a WhatsApp group, because of course my people work in Lahore in Pakistan, they work UK hours, but
Mm,
it's, you know, the easiest way to communicate is through WhatsApp.
sure.
And because of what we do and how we say it and bringing people on board and knowing that clients are nurtured and loved, the messages that we get through on WhatsApp from our clients are extraordinary. I mean, they are amazing, amazing comments that we get. Even, and people are reticent to use the word love for some reason. And I know that was when before my transformation, love, you thought people would think that you're a bit odd if you said you loved them. You know, oh gosh, could it be taken the wrong way? Well, you know, well, when it comes down to it, when people know that in your soul you have a loving soul, saying to a client, I love you, actually, they know where it's coming from. And our clients come back and go, I love you guys. I love what you do. They're using the word love.
Mm,
People are coming back, men and women, saying, you know, hey guys, I loved the post today. I loved the post on LinkedIn. I loved how you helped me with X, Y, and Z. So when you're asking for the biggest transformation for a client, the one thing that I would say is that sheer uplift of how we help people with their energy, how we help to create abundance through energetic giving. Our clients then carry out that throughout their day.
mm,
And we have people like, oh, through your LinkedIn lead generation, we've just signed up our 4th deal. I'm speaking to people like I've never spoken to them before. We're getting, you know, for the lady that has a young family, she travels an awful lot. We help with her administration for a couple of hours a day. She's coming back to us and saying, I was able to see my kids this evening, put them to bed. I was there for breakfast. It's amazing. all of these sorts of things which are coming through, and they do have a tangible, direct result to the bottom line. Make no mistake, if that lady's seeing her kids and she's happy, and she's the business development director for the UK and Europe, her work is going to improve, her concentration levels, her energy, so that she's going to go out there with a more positive outlook. So in the bottom line of things, she'll be closing more deals. One, because she'll be doing more to do them because she hasn't got to do the admin. But secondly, her attitude that she goes to it with is going to be one where she sees the fulfillment of the money coming in that the business need for her to close deals, etc. And it just starts off with that seed. That's the transformation that we can provide, because we set everything up and then our clients have to take it forward. So by doing the admin, having more time in front of potential buyers, etc., then they can have more energy to close the deals, to do more. Doing the LinkedIn lead generation, our clients can speak with more people that have been nurtured in the way that we've developed them with the messaging that goes out, so that they want to hear about our client service. But it isn't, I always say, do not sell. Nobody wants to be sold to, but everybody wants to be listened to. And everybody wants to make sure that they feel important and cared for and loved.
Yeah.
And if my clients can go out there, I do a little bit of education. It's not my job to tell them how to get business in, but I was like, how can I sell? How can I close? How can I make this person want to do what my business does? And now I don't do that. I can have 10, 15, 20 conversations every single day if I wanted, because the energy is completely different. It's how can I help? How can I give? How can I contribute? How can I listen with the intent of understanding and applying what these people are telling me over the course of the conversation? And that way, people know that you are genuinely interested and that you're authentic. I try and help my clients to perceive, people say, oh, I have a hat for work and I have a hat for home. And in my mind, if you can marry the two, if you can blend the two and be the same person at work as you are at home, the energy isn't going to conflict. You're going to be in flow, i.e., you're going with that energy, and therefore you're going to have far more energy in both areas of your life because you're not having to swap and change. And the transformation that that gives to our clients, coming from a basis of love, is that maybe for the first time they're realizing that actually you don't have to sell. You just have to listen and understand, and the power is in the questioning, and ask the questions that will open up somebody's thought process and open up their heart. And once you've done that, that person's either going to go, I'm interested in what you do myself, or they're going to go, you know what, I know somebody that could be interested in what you do.
Beautiful. Love that. How are you getting your clients?
So we get our clients through LinkedIn lead generation. This is something that we offer for our clients, but I always test what we do to make sure it works for us.
Sure.
And then I put it out to our clients. So everything that we do, I've done through my own business for ourselves. And so that's how we get our clients, is through LinkedIn lead generation. There's not a sales message in sight. And ultimately, I would say I would have, out of those messages that go out, for me now, it's got to be over 50% that want a discussion. So I always say to people, be careful, because ultimately we often provide so many leads that it's difficult to actually fit them all in the diary. But then I've become the master, the guru, because I've done so many of them. And this is about repetition with purpose and with love in my heart. I've done so many of these discussions. From the business now, picking up actual business from these discussions, I'll probably be doing 25% conversion rate.
Wow.
And that, you see, that is the beauty of what we're doing. We're growing now exponentially. Our clients are referring to us. We're getting business through LinkedIn lead generation predominantly. So we're probably onboarding 5, 6 new clients every single week. And then we'll grow and grow and grow. And then the next thing I want to do is to help those people within my team to have these discussions as well, so that it's not just me. It's actually others that are doing that role, and therefore then I can multiply the sales team within our own business. But the great thing is the raving fans that we have in our clients of actually going out there and telling people about us and wanting to connect us with people that they know, love, and trust is
Absolutely.
really amazing. Yeah, that's that.
Absolutely. Love that. Love that. Let's move forward. What would you say is a cause that you're deeply passionate about?
Oh, that's a really good question. Because of my abuse and the
Mm,
trauma, I'm very much into helping young people
mm,
who perhaps haven't had the greatest starts in life. The cause to help young people. So what I'm doing, I'm going to be working with, it's called Boost Lancashire.
mm,
And I want to take this into the business realm of how I think, how this inclusivity, how this getting out of your own mindset, how becoming self-aware can actually help the young people that you have in business. So I want to direct a number of discussions with leaders of business so that they can see the young people that are going to be the future of their businesses coming in, and how you can nurture those young people to see them their own awakening,
mm,
looking at their own self-worth, their own brand values, their own culture within themselves, because we never know what's gone on in somebody's life. Not really. Not many people are going to be speaking as openly as I am, and I would never, ever have told a soul until a couple of years ago when I had counseling. So it's
sure.
helping young people, but having the senior management and the leadership have a top-down culture so that it can actually make a difference. So there's no resistance to actually developing people to their optimum, and that's by recognizing who they are within themselves, and not to be thinking about the head space so much, but thinking about how to handle anxiety, the triggers of anxiety, how to self-regulate, but all through how we help the body to do that rather than the mind, and help young people in that effort to help them. Because if we can help young people see that earlier,
Mm,
then the transformation that they can bring, and for themselves and for the businesses and for their fellow co-workers, is going to be amazing, because they'll be doing a lot more earlier on in their lives.
beautiful. Love that. You mentioned that you have 3 charities, and I want to do an entire episode just on those. Um, so let's call it a day for today. And definitely want to do a part 4 to talk about those charities and your giving back, your philanthropist work around, because that's something I'm extremely passionate about, and that's something that inspires me as well. So let's do that. Once again, Deborah, if someone wants to connect with you, what's the best way to do so?
Yeah, so just one second, because I'm just going to go into this, because I'm bad at actually saying all this about LinkedIn. I'm pretty bad at giving my
I think
LinkedIn
I see your
address.
website, your phone number, all that behind you. It's your website is visentially.com. Your email is db@visentially.com. You have your mobile number listed, your office number. Yeah.
Yeah, and LinkedIn is linkedin.com/in/Debra, Debra Blackman.
mm, love that. Listen, Deborah, absolute pleasure as usual talking to you. Love your passion, your vision, your impact, especially that. And speaking of impact, we'll do an entire episode just on that, your impact. In the meantime, keep shining your light, keep blessing the world, your presence, your impact, your smile, and most importantly, with your gift. You're a gift yourself, my dear friend. And until then,
Oh,
God bless. Talk to you very soon next time. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you, Payman. Been a
Very
pleasure.
welcome.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Yes.